All right, this is Dan Meyer with RCR Wireless News. I'm here at the 2010 4G World Show in Chicago. I'm here with Jim Young, COO at Crown Castle. Mm-hmm. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks so much.
I mean, as 4G is being generally deployed as a network overlay by existing carriers, mm-hmm. and in some cases new networks by some of the new carriers coming in, it's very, in one sense, very classic infrastructure deployment. Yeah, so there's more equipment going on towers, more equipment going in compounds, and that requires all of the normal due diligence and preparation that any network deployment would be. I think the added dimension to 4G is there's some new equipment going on towers, there's a question of backhaul and the facilitation of backhaul, and you throw that all into the ever-increasing complexity of the zoning and permitting environment, despite the fact that this is fairly reasonable and not too expansive work in the towers. Yeah. You have a pretty good soup of activity coming that we're obviously very well into with a couple of new carriers on the market, mm-hmm. One in deployment, one soon to be in deployment, and then obviously the existing carriers doing their overlay. What we spend a lot of time talking about and thinking about most is scale. Okay. The speed and I would say the increasing speed that these carriers are wanting to deploy, and we know even LightSquared has a very tight timeline to deploy. So we own and operate 23,000 towers in the U.S. and we believe every one of those is going to be touched in the next couple of years, multiple times, mm-hmm. by our carriers. So that's a level of scale and activity that we really haven't seen in the industry for a while. So there's been a real shift in the last 4 or 5 years in the carriers' willingness to I would say, allow us to help them deploy their networks and form not just semantic partnerships, but legitimate partnerships that are helping them deploy things faster. Now, I think that's it would be fair to say necessity is a little bit the mother of invention, because the scale I talked about earlier is also very real for the carriers as they become focused on backhaul challenges, deployment challenges, multiple, managing growth of existing networks. So obviously the 3G networks are continuing to grow for the carriers that have them deployed. Putting in a 4G overlay on top of that, they need partners. And we work very hard at Crown Castle during the trust of the carriers to say, we can be a legitimate partner. We can provide services that are going to help you get your technologies and your networks to market faster. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're about. We're willing, obviously, we don't have a site that we are unable to accommodate a carrier on, because we will upgrade our towers up to and including replacing them to accommodate that one last piece of equipment, whatever is necessary there.